Good morning, everybody. We'll begin today's session. First question. You're shown here a keyboard designed for smartphones. It has two sizes of keys which are arranged one after the other. What will be the difficulty of independently typing a single colored key from the origin key O, which is here, arranged from the least difficult to the most difficult? That is easy to type first, most difficult to type last. Assume that the keyboard is held vertically in the left hand and the right hand user is pressing the keys using only the index finger on the right. Okay. So what is given here in the question is we're typing from this position O. The phone is held in the left hand and the right hand user is pressing with the index finger. With that position, we have to identify what will be the least difficult or the most difficult key to press of the red, blue, orange, and green colored keys, which are shown here. All right. So since it is held in the left hand and the right hand index finger is being used to type the keys, of course, the closest one will be orange, which is closer to the letter O here. So आपका option B और C negate हो जाता है. Also, we know blue will be the most difficult, which is there in both A and D, which is not much of a problem. After orange, the next easiest one, because we are going crossways always, right, left, though red will be the easiest one next, followed by green and followed by blue. So correct answer will be option D, which is the right one. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Which option represents the front view of the object shown below? You're given here 3D object. You have to identify the correct front view, which is the view from this side. यहाँ पे लिखा है. So when you compare all the options together, you'll find C में ये वाला थोड़ा छोटा है, versus in all other options it seems fine. So that part is actually longer. So in in option B, this part is wrong. With option C, this is mirror. ये mirror है ऐसा. So if you look at it goes the other way around and not how it is shown in C, तो वो भी गलत है. Between E and D, if you look at it, the difference is in this much part. यहाँ पे वो edge आएगा. This edge is there. So henceforth A is wrong and D is the correct answer here. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Which of these material would make a furniture lightest for the same design? Of all of these, the lightest material will be particle board. From light to heavy, if I move, there will be particle board, followed by MDF, which is medium density fiber, followed by ply, and followed by teak. Okay, move to the next one. A zookeeper has X baboons and Y monkeys in an enclosure. One day, the zookeeper was told that seven of the animals have escaped. From only this information, he was able to deduce that at least one baboon has escaped. Which of the following does not represent a possible XY pair? X is baboon and Y is monkeys. We know 7 animals escaped. And out of that, the zookeeper said one baboon has escaped. Minimum. One or at least means one or more. But at least one baboon has escaped. Okay. What that means is baboon is X and Y is monkey. What that mean is for monkeys, अगर 6 में से आपको if out of 7 you know one baboon has escaped, which means monkeys का number, which is represented by Y, has to be less than or equal to 6. Why? Because here one or more baboon would have escaped. 7 में से एक चला जाता है तो 6 बच जाता है, which means 6 या ज्यादा 6 से कम 6 या उससे कम 6 or less than 6 monkeys would have been there. So from the 7 monkeys escaped, then only then the zookeeper can say that one baboon, at least एक baboon तो गया है. At least one baboon has gone. All right. So that's where we know that monkey has to be less than or equal to 6. So of the option, जिसमें भी y का value is less than or equal to 6 is possible, other is not possible. From the option A is the only one जिसमें y का value 6 से ज़्यादा है. So A is the correct answer here. Okay. We'll move to the next one. In the painting of Pablo Picasso's blue period, colors are chosen from one part of the color wheel. They yield a tonality of blue in spite of the presence of yellowish green, bluish purple, and so forth, and so on. Therefore, it can be said that tonality is an outcome of the tonality, which happens to be on one side of the color wheel, is an outcome of simple analogous combination, which are group of color which happen to be only on one side of the color wheel. Okay, we'll move to the next one. A sheet of paper is folded as shown in the image. Then the word maker, like how we see here, is written. Which option correctly represents the unfolded paper? Okay. When you unfold this paper, ये वाला जो इतना part है will go on the back side of the paper, this much part, जो यहाँ पे आएगा, which means that part is not going to be visible. So the option where that part is visible is a wrong answer. Like जैसे C में ये visible है और D में भी visible है, both are not possible because this folds back here. और आपका आगे वाला पेपर जो यहाँ पे लिखाई देगा वो अलग है. The front text will be different, the back text will be different, and this part goes on the back, so that's why that part is not visible at all. All right, so C and D are eliminated. A or B may say. Now if you observe the fold line, this is your fold lines. आपका fold line पीछे है, उसका space, there's some space there, and then the text comes here in the middle part. So from the fold line there has to be some space and followed by the text has to come. जो A में दिख रहा है, B में वो fold line से aligned हुआ है, so B is wrong and A is the correct answer here. We'll move to the next one. In a kitchen, we have three important activities to perform, namely washing utensils, rolling chapati, and chopping vegetables. To design an ergonomically correct kitchen, which of the following is the most beneficial depending on the need in an ideal situation? Assume that one person will use this kitchen. So when I look at the kitchen ka cross section, what you will observe is that, and then if somebody is using it, if someone is using it, what you will observe is आपका rolling pin वाला रोटी बेलने के लिए there has to be something on top, which means उसका height अलग होगा. When somebody is washing utensils, वो depression होता है ऐसा of the basin, and there the utensils are washed, which means this height is different. And when you're chopping this vegetables, you can chop it on the platform, or in most of the cases, what people do is they place a cutting board on top and then they chop the utensils, which means all three heights are different. So answer is D, which is the correct answer. Okay, we move to the next one. P and Q are two layered dials of a watch. Dial Q is placed on top of P. The white areas in dial Q are cut portions through which parts of P are visible from top. The pattern shown in the image is taken at 12 hours. This is 12 hours. And dial Q rotates 90 degrees after every 15 minutes in the clockwise direction about center axis, and dial P rotates by 45-degree anti-clockwise after every 30 minutes about its central axis. Find out the right pattern at 13:30 hours. All right. So this is 12 hours. We have to find the time at 13:30. We know Q rotates 90 degrees after every 15 minutes and P rotates by 45 degrees. Okay. So this is how the rotation will work out. And from this position at 12 noon, when it becomes 13:30, this dial P will rotate 135-degree anti-clockwise direction. Why 135? Because 1.5 hour में 45-degree rotation 3 बार हो रहा है. That's why it becomes 135-degree, but in anti-clockwise direction, because it's given that it rotates anti-clockwise. And ये वाला 180-degree rotate हो रहा है. Why? Because 90-degree 6 बार rotate होगा. When it rotates 90 degree into 6 times. When it rotates 90 degrees 6 times, which means 4 bar 90 rotate karega, which means it's one complete circle is there, and then 2 more times. That's why 180 degree clockwise rotate hoga at 130. Okay, from its original position. So this is how they add up. When you add both of them together, we get this figure, which is there in option C. Okay, let's move back to show you. This is how option C happens, which is supposed to be the correct answer. We move to the next one. How many unique shapes are there in the image below? We are given here a diagram. We have to identify the total number of unique shapes that are there. So there are total 10 unique shapes in this diagram, and these are all the 10 numbered unique shapes. Okay, we'll move to the next one. Figure P is the image of a complete bicycle. If paths can be shared between 2 or more bicycles and flipping of figure P is allowed, how many complete bicycles are there in the figure Q? Okay, we have to count the number of bicycles that are there in the figure Q. This is how a bicycle looks like. So when you count the bicycles, there are a total of 16 bicycles. In this case, it is easier to count the frame, this frame, or at least this triangle, either of them which works for you. Instead of counting, going by the circles, this becomes much faster and easier. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. It adds up to 16 bicycles in total. Okay. We'll move to the next one. Four-wheeler vehicles are trying to take a circular path around a marked point in the center. Select the vehicle with the correct wheel position. We'll identify the vehicle with the correct wheel positions here. One or more option is possible. When you try tracing the wheel trajectory, you will find that there is one wheel in option C, in the card C, which does not align with the center here. So all the options A, B, and D, all three are correct here. Okay, we'll move to the next one. From the given option, which chair can be compactly stacked? Of all these options, which chair can be compactly stacked is what we have to find. So in this figure, when you want to stack a chair, if this happens to be, if the alignment happens to be edge to edge, where this edge और ये वाला एक लाइन में आता है, आपका stacking के लिए यहाँ पे space नहीं बचता है. So that's why you need a condition like this, where the edge of the seating and the edge of this support is separate, and they have some space in between, ताकि एक और frame आप यहाँ पे अच्छे से डाल सको. And then this comes in the front, and then this stacks like this. So C is the only one which can be stacked compactly. Okay, move to the next one. Here you're given here some combinations. You have to identify which number will replace this question mark. When you look at the figures here and try to find some combinations, 4 into 2 will be 8. 8 or 12. How do we reach from 8 to 12? And then 10 into 5 is 50. And then the given option is 75. ये 50 आएगा और फिर नीचे 75 दिया है. How do we reach from here to here? If you look at 50 or 75, the difference between them is of 3 by 2 or 1.5 times. यहाँ पे भी 8 और 12 में भी सेम चीज हो रहा है. 3 by 2 का डिफरेंस या 1.5 का डिफरेंस आ रहा है, मल्टीप्लाई बाय 1.5. So like for example 12 multiply by 3 by 2 करेंगे तो आंसर will be 8 multiply by 3 by 2 करेंगे तो आंसर will be 12. और यहाँ पे 50 multiply by 3 by 2 करेंगे तो आंसर will be 75. यहाँ पे भी वो फॉलो करता है. 6 7s are 42 multiply by 3 by 2, which happens to be 63. This also gets followed. So here also the same thing. 12 into 9, 108 minus 3 by 2 will be 162, which is the answer. Okay. This question mark will be replaced by 162. Okay. Thank you so much. We'll end this session today. Thank you so much for your time.